back to my channel. My name is Jaquelynlopez. Today I am going to be doing a dry floral arrangement inside of a terrarium that was gifted to me from Ferrisland. I'm going to leave all of the information in the description box down below for you, and I'll talk a little bit more further down in the video. Now I'm very excited to share this with you. This is going to be an arrangement I am going to have in my living room, and I hope that you enjoy it. Now, as always, I do want to remind you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time that I post a new video. Like, comment, and share. That really helps my channel to grow. And let's just go ahead and get into the DIY. For this DIY, of course, the main feature of it is going to be this beautiful house-shaped terrarium. It has a little stand so that you can keep it open and allow for airflow if you have real plants in there. As you can see by the mess I have on this table, I'm going to be using an assortment of moss and dried florals. I also have some little embellishments to try and see if they will work. I have also some faux florals, and again, just a hodgepodge of items. I'm going to let you take a look at what I have here. To begin, I'm going to take my craft foam and I'm going to cut it so that I have a thinner piece. Now, mistake number one for me is using this craft foam. If you have some floral foam, use that instead. It is much easier to work with. Now, to cover this so that it doesn't just look stark white in there, I am going to be using some moss. Now, I love this type of moss, which is kind of like reindeer moss. I like that it's in little bundles, so it makes it look a little bit more natural, and there's also a lot less gluing that you have to do if it's not in a bunch of little pieces. This is from Michael's and it's just the brown colored one, but of course you can use the green reindeer moss from Dollar Tree. I absolutely love that, and you would probably use about the entire bag to cover this up. I'm going to begin just by covering the sides and a little bit of the top. I'm not going to add any more moss until I have my entire arrangement in there, just so that I can see what I need to cover up.
Try my best to carry on without you like you've done. Though I'm lost and out of breath, I will carry on without you like you've done. But I'm not over you. But I will try my best to carry on without you like you've done. Though I'm lost and out of I will carry on without you like you've done. But I'm not over you. I'm not over you. I'm not over you.
Now that we have it all covered and inside of our terrarium, it's time to start playing around with florals and see what fits. I really wanted to use this flower because I love the color so much, but it is too big. I tried to see if it would work. I stepped back and it didn't, but I still wanted kind of a statement piece in one of the corners, so I decided to use this lotus pod. It fills up nicely, but it doesn't take over that much space, and visually it looks really good in there. Now, for the rest of this DIY, it's basically just trial and error to see what works, what I like as it sits inside of here. Usually I prefer to do this type of arrangements where I have the little foam block outside of it, but it is going to be hard to put it back in since the opening is rather small. So I'm going to do all my work inside the terrarium. It proved a little bit difficult, mainly because I started adding my bigger pieces first. So that is my mistake number two. Add all of your smaller, lower pieces first, but kind of have an overview of what you would like. That way you keep those larger pieces to just add in at the end. As I kept putting my hand in here to switch out things and see what worked, I kept knocking down all of the little leaves off of this bigger part that I have here in the back. I'm also going to be using these little mushrooms from Dollar Tree, which I love. You can of course stain them, paint them, but I really like the natural look since everything in here is pretty much natural. Nothing is dyed or painted to my knowledge. At least I didn't do it. This is exactly how I purchased it or how I found it in nature. So I'm going to stop talking for now because again, it's just trying to see what fits where. If you have any questions on kind of my method or what I do, leave it down in the comments. I'll be answering all of my comments.
Anyway, now I'm falling down. 'Cause I can get myself to focus when you are around. But I will try my best to carry on without you like you've done. Though I'm lost and out of breath, I will carry on without you like you've done. But I'm not over you. I'm not over you.
I did mention that it was easier to work with the floral foam. It's really hard for me to get these to stick down in there since they're very thin and I don't want to break them, so I am having to glue these three together so that I can get a firm enough base to put it in through. So again, make sure that you are working with floral foam instead of craft foam because they are different. They have very, very different textures.
Try my best to carry on without you like you've done.
When I was creating the little scene or little dry floral forest that I had in my head, I really wanted to make a little birdie work, but it was way too big for the idea that I had in my head. So I went ahead and switched out the birdie for a little white pumpkin, so that just adds to the fall feel of it.
Though I'm lost and out of breath, I will carry on without you like you.
At this point, I noticed that there were a lot of little loose pieces at the bottom from me putting my hand in and out of it. Remember, I said that I kept knocking off the leaves off of things, so I took the entire arrangement, turned it upside down and shook it so that I could get all those things off of it and out. And then because it did move some of the things around, I use a dowel that used to be attached to the white pumpkin that's in the arrangement, just to push down the moss and any other pieces that kind of moved out of place.
A lot has changed since we last spoke. Life's been good to you, and I see that you're with someone new. Maybe you are better off now that you're with him. But when I see your face, I can't stop myself from spiraling. Now I'm falling down. 'Cause I can focus when you are around. But I will try my best.
Now that we're almost done, it's time to fill in any gaps with any more moss. So I'm going to fill in the bottom so that you don't have any spaces in between the foam and the terrarium, and also in between all of the dried florals that I added so that you don't see any of the white peeking through.
I'm not over you. I'm not over you. Yeah, my heart belongs to you. I'm not over you. Trying to see it your way, to figure out why you left. I know that I have done some things I do regret, and I don't blame you for leaving. I might have done the same, but it doesn't make it easier anyway. Now I'm falling down. 'Cause I can get myself to focus when you are around. But I will try my best to carry on without you.
Now that I have everything nice and clean at the bottom, I was using those tweezers to push things down and to take out any loose pieces. It is completely done, and I love the way that this turned out. It's like a beautiful little scene from every different angle that you get to see it from. A huge thank you to my friends over at Ferrisland for sending this over to me. If you want to get your own, I do have a 10% off code you can use on their site. It is JACLYN10. I'm going to leave that here on the screen for you and in the description box below. I'm going to leave you a link to their Instagram, Facebook, and their site. Go ahead and check it out. They have amazing other items. They have large terrariums, smaller terrariums, and again, just a lot for you to go check out. So make sure that you go give them a follow, check out their website. Again, thank you to them for sending this out to me. I am absolutely in love with my terrarium, and I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time that I post a new video. I have a lot of fun upcoming fall DIYs for you. And again, thank you for taking time to watch this video. You have a very good rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Though I'm lost and out of breath, I will carry on without you like you've done.